Good to come out here on the road, get a win. A lot of resiliency. Obviously, the way it started out, a 100-yard return after we drove the ball down on them. Thought we played good, efficient football. Thought our quarterback played good again. So he's continued to play well. That starts it. The run game was good. Pass game was efficient, hit a couple big plays. And then defensively and special teams, again, we were grinding back and forth. They got a lot of talent on their football team. It's a good offensive football team. They've been doing a good job defensively, taking away passes. But proud of the guys to come out here, play a good game and get a win on the road. And, I think it was Tuesday. Gobi brought that play up to me. We talked about who we thought would be a good candidate to do the jump. And Isaiah, came to mind. And he executed perfectly. So proud of our team, our coaches. They put a lot of hard work in to come out here on the road. Started out similar, not the same, but similar to the Cleveland week when we bounced back. So proud of the guys, competed well, got the result we want. But really the process is what I'm proud of, how they stay true to it, how they practiced, how they prepared, meetings, all those type of things. So good win.
What did you think? What did you see that made you think that play would work here and against this team?
Yeah, well, you put a lot of trust in your assistants. So Gobi thought it would be a good, he showed me a few clips and we held it too. We were, I kept asking for it during the game. I thought, we probably had a chance at it. And Gobi's like, I just want to set it up one more. And look, there's risk reward to it because if you get a penalty, then it's a first down for the offense. But I thought Gobi did a great job of just setting up the rush, called it at the perfect time, and then, Isaiah's over there before the play practicing get-offs and what he's doing. So he was prepared to go. We had Dexter in there. Well-executed play at a critical situation.
Brian, did you guys notice that Tomlinson would always typically go real low when you block like that?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the strategy. But, we put a lot of hard work into it every week as a coaching staff. That's our job, is to try to put the players in the best position we can. And then ultimately on Sundays, it's their job to go out there and perform and execute and, work together with the coaches and give and take stuff. It was a good team win.
What do you think on Isaiah on the field goal block? He usually is on that.
Yeah, but we moved him around. Look, it was just a good game plan played by Gobi and the special teams guys. And then, I was asking for it a little bit earlier. And, he just got a lot of trust in our coaching staff. It's a very cohesive unit all the way through. Special teams, defense, offense. Bunch of good people to work with.
As a play caller, how challenging was it? Your starting running back's not there, so you have a rookie, and obviously Malik's not there, who gets so many targets. For you to change things up and maybe use some guys in different situations, or you had to trust rookies.
That's the job of a coach. So, that's what you work during the week for. We moved Slayton over to where Neighbors was a bunch. And he was on the other side usually, so now he has to learn because he's been with us for however many years, since we've been here. And one of the reasons is because he's very dependable and he's smart. So to hear a personnel group and for the training camp and all this, you're going to this position and then all of a sudden have to flip it and go to that position. That's Slay though. He's a great teammate. He's always done whatever we've asked of him, and I've said that numerous times. So. I'm happy for him. I don't know what was his production. I know it was probably quite a bit. It was good to see the rookies. They're developing still. It's early. This is October now, so you kind of figure out September some of the things you need to work on. And one game really has nothing to do with the next, so we'll do it all over again against a very challenging opponent, high-powered team coming up here in a week.
Dave, how about the moment for Simmons in particular, a guy who some weeks hasn't dressed?
Yeah.
And then today he does what he does.
Yeah, I think he's dressed every week, if I'm not mistaken, but that's okay. I said that. I gave him a game ball. It's, look, he's a high first-round pick. He's been on a couple different teams. There's certain roles that he plays, and not everybody is a starter for you. That means the people that play behind them or the specific roles we have, they have to execute their job at a high level. Whatever that role is, that's what good teammates do. Certainly everybody wants the ball on offense or play 100% of the time, but this is a team game, and you can only put 11 out there. And when your number's called, we're expecting you to make the play. So I'm proud of the young man for that. He made one hell of a play at the end of the game to seal it. So, and I give Goby a lot of credit. First-year coordinator, schemed it up, brought it up. It was a good team win.
What impressed you, Brian, about Tracy, his running?
Got a lot of yards. Yeah. He was productive. He was productive. He was tough. I mean, he's doing the, I don't know if it's eat more or whatever it is, the sideline. Give him the ball. And, he ran hard. He saw the holes. He pressed the hole. That's something we've been working hard on him with, is pressing the hole and setting up your blocks. Made some extra yards with the ball in his hand. I don't know. He had a bunch of yards too, right? Yeah. Tracy, I don't know, whatever it was. What was it? Yeah, like 7. What was the average? He had to have a high average. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they all do, but there's certain, certain plays we left out there too. So there's a lot of things to clean up. But I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of our coaches to come all the way across the country and, lose a tough couple games here in the last month, which I thought we competed at. I think we're getting better. We're certainly not there, but, I just think the cohesiveness of the staff, the players, I think that's important, particularly early on in the year. A lot of hard workers, a lot of team players, put the team first. But long way to go. It's one game in a tough environment. But what I'm proud of is, how they responded to early in the game. When that big play happened, is very similar to Cleveland. And I think, let me say this. Somebody asked, I think it was you, about the fans. Our fans were awesome again. They were at, Washington, traveling out on the road. I mean, it's nice to hear, New York Giant chants at the end of the game. So shout out to the fans.
Dave, how fun is it to coach Daniel Jones when he's playing at the level he was at today?
Well, it's always been fun to coach him because he's a true pro. So, again, I always want the results, but have a lot of confidence in him, how he's playing, how he's preparing. Feel comfortable putting the ball in his hands. This is what we did early in the game. We went after him a little bit, throwing the ball. So, I got a lot of confidence in him.
How much do you think it helps?
When he's running, can we work up?
Go ahead.
When he's running and lowering his shoulder into defenders, does that type of thing bleed in a good way into your team?
Yeah. Anytime a quarterback does that, again, you got to be smart about it. But he's a true competitor. I mean, there was, a play a couple weeks back, him pushing on the goal line in Cleveland. He's a competitive young man who, again, Daniel Jones has done everything that I and we have asked him to do. He's here early. He stays late. He's got good leadership traits. It's never been easy for him. But everything we've asked him to do, he does it at the very best he can do it. And he's played some good football here. We're going to need him to continue to do that.
What about Slayton? And I don't know what you make of that initial penalty, and then he comes right back though and gets a big touchdown catch.
Yeah, I didn't see the play. That's certainly something that we showed abundance here the last couple weeks. I'm not sure he was really doing what I think he was doing, and he was very regretful and remorseful for doing it. So we've talked about it a bunch, but and then we go ahead and look, that play that he hit. He wasn't even a primary guy. So Wandell was, and they kind of played a little bit of a double move, and that was a secondary read, an unbelievable play by DJ to see it, and a great route by 86 on that big. I don't know how many yards was it, Jordan? 41. Okay.
Dave, you mentioned couple more. You mentioned the environment here.
Yeah.
Your offensive line, I don't believe you had one pre-snap penalty.
Yeah.
How that group has come together. I mean, I don't know if you're able to do the things
Yeah.
you did offensively without that group putting on that performance today.
Yeah, I said this. They're a veteran group, well coached by Carm and James. There's good chemistry in that room. There's a lot of extra meetings, Art, not just with the line, but they're staying late on Wednesdays and Thursdays and getting all sorts of food. Running backs are staying in there. It's good food too. So it's just they're a close knit group, and that's what you need to be offensive line wise. And they're veterans that have played a lot of football. Again, this is our second win. Certainly, we'd like to have more, but we don't. So go back to work this week and do the very best we can.
How much
much do you think it helped Tyrone Tracy that he got an opportunity to get in a rhythm, right? And do you think that matters more maybe for young running back when he's more involved rather than having to sit there and wait for his opportunities?
Yeah, I'd probably say that there's truth to that. I mean, I think for any running back, the more carries you get, the more lathered you get. But those carries have to be productive carries. You go out and hand it off, and you gain a yard and 0, and one of the things, we were one of the more productive teams in the first 4 weeks of passing the football, self-scout-wise, on first down production, and less on run game. It's something that, and I don't know what the numbers are today, something back we'll continue to look at of, giving ourselves a good chance on second down, or even skipping some of those where we're not having, 18 third downs a game. I don't know how many we had today. But certainly, I think for any player, when you get into a rhythm, you want a ball. It's like a streaky basketball shooter. The more you make and shoot, or the more you shoot, the more you're going to make.
Brian,
Last one.
Have you,
did you think at all about quarterback sneaking it on the play that Eric Gray fumbled? I mean, it was such a short distance there.
Yeah, there was. Well, I'm not going to get into strategy. There was a couple things there. Look, they made a good play on the edge. We didn't get it in, and again, the thing I'm most proud of is how we came back here.
Did you have to